Hello, this is Jenny here, and today I'm going to be reflecting on my overall experience and any additional comments that I had after exploring the Lascaux cave. First and foremost, I thought that, my overall thought process was, what in the world am I being taken through? I think I was overall a little confused with the layout of the cave because it just keeps going in deeper and deeper, and so my mind the whole time was just wondering how these upper Paleolithic people were able to explore through this cave and go so far as to going low into the altitude. Well, obviously, there were a few notable pieces of artwork that they had passed us through. One being a Chinese horse that I remember seeing, and the shading was crazy because it looked very accurate and very well drawn out, that it looked clearly like a horse. So these people were definitely ahead of their time. And I definitely had to pause at that point because I really was examining the techniques that they had used. And obviously, at the time, all they had access to was really the chipped tools that they used out of rock. The technique, which is the Levallois, Levallois technique. Well, I'm going to assume that they had depended on that technique in creating most of the artwork, and from the ceilings to the walls, it was quite an amazing, just very impressive construction of these images that they were trying to portray. It shows a lot that, our brain capacities, they were growing at this time. We were already having a keen eye for talent and overall creativity. We were definitely exercising that increasing intelligence. So I also read somewhere on the website before doing the tour that apparently they had not found that many objects remaining as well, which is also pretty crazy. And so I think the overall encapturing of all the fauna that had roamed the earth around this time is very beautiful, especially when you think about how this was, 18,000 years ago, and so a lot of the species back then, who knows how many have already gone extinct, or at least the types of variations of the animals that we see today, like such as the deer and the bison. I think that they still look pretty similar to the ones that are alive today. And so I started going on a rampage inside my mind, like, wait, what else also was still around? Oh, but I digress. I also thought it was pretty interesting that I think there was only one point where I saw a human carving. And the thing is, the human did not really look human. Like, obviously, you can tell it was a person, but it did not technically have human hands. And I like to think that the Paleolithic people were probably just more expressive, and that, or they were too lazy to draw literal, realistic hands. Well, I mean, considering the limited resources that they had, I can't blame them. But yeah, I just thought it was pretty interesting that a lot of the animals that they had carved out were, well, the tone of these artworks is, it's almost like they're putting these animals on a pedestal and not trying to portray them in the sense that this was their dinner. It was like another equal being that they had lived alongside, and so I thought that was it was pretty cool. But yeah, back to the overall layout of the cave. I just it does I cannot fathom how the exploration of this cave was even possible. But yeah, hey, go Europeans. I mean, they really that's a historic country over there. I'm like, here in America, we really do not go as far as well, I guess the American Indian people. Our history is going to be looked over. But in Europe, wow, imagine how many other sites there are over there. I mean, there's a lot. I'm sure there's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah, many of the species from the hominin family. I mean, they lived across Europe to as far as West Asia and Siberia. So this class gives me life extinctual. I question life. But yeah, I really do hope to visit one of these Paleolithic sites in the future when I have the chance to go and visit Europe. Well, that and as well as I would like to go and see all of the architecture from the Roman era. I'm a little bit more interested in that. But yeah, this was a pretty cool project. It's pretty impressive how well they were also able to preserve this site since it was discovered in the 40s. So I also just wonder how these people were able to roam around in these caves without getting lost. But that question will be for another time. All right, thank you.